Hank Stott in car number 10 in the A1 Toyota sponsored machine. Then the Mayor of New London in car number 45, Tommy Shea. And rounding out our field, Brendan Houghton of Thompson in the 71X. He is sponsored by Wojcik Farm and the Picket Fence. And the Picket Fence is a great lunch and breakfast place. So getting ready to give you the feast of 20 laps of Limited Sportsman, here is Joe.
Working through turns 3 and 4 to kick off our Limited Sportsman main event, a 20-lap feature that sees the double greens, and we are underway. Outside lane has the advantage for Al Stone. He leads the field to the banking of turn 1.
The driver they have, they call Stone Cold, is out in front. Second is a crapshoot between Ryan Morgan and Jason Chikolis. Megan Fuller running fourth, and Al Stone sees the yellow come out. We have a problem in turn 2 as the car is stranded. Looks like, is that Kyle Garrow in the 19? So the black and white Knight runs into some trouble off of turn number 2. So the man who was second in the points, he is in disarray, and he'll have to go to the rear of the field.
Tough break for Kyle Garrow, who came into the championship point leader to start the night, Matt, but after qualifying, Monahan earned some more qualifying points, so he was able to take advantage of the championship point lead coming in. But Garrow, in a very tight Limited Sportsman Championship point race, needed to have a good night tonight.
Yeah, he said he was not going to look at the point standings. He didn't care because when he ran for an X-Car Championship a few years ago, he said he did pay attention to the points, and it made him a nervous wreck. So even though he didn't pay attention, he now has to go to the rear of the field. And Al Stone will be restarting alongside Ryan Morgan in the 31.
No laps have been recorded as the incident happened over there in turn 1. So we'll re-rack them and try it again here as everybody gets lined back up again. So it'll be basically a fresh start with the exception of the 19 of Kyle Garrow, who'll go to the tail.
And Al Stone got a pretty good breakaway at the start. Let's see if he can duplicate that, as the pace car still on the track, ready to take that turn. It goes into peace and quiet, and we are about to get rowdy as our field comes out of turn number 4.
Green flag displayed. Good clean start as they come up off the turn. Al Stone, a very good and efficient start once again. That leaves a battle for the second spot between Ryan Morgan and Jay Chikolis in turn 2.
And Megan Fuller sticks her nose in there as she tries to get underneath the 7 car. Here is Sean Monahan. Wasted no time to join the top 5. The top 5 cars could fit in a taco shell.
Swaggin' wagon in that 55, running the outside lane, battling for fourth with Megan Fuller getting down into turn number 1. Can't really move further forward because Chikolis is still in that battle with Ryan Morgan for second.
Yeah, right now Monahan is hemmed in. He has Megan Fuller next to him. In front of him, Jason Chikolis, and right now there's nowhere for the 55 car to go.
2 by 2. Behind the race leader, carrying the mail down into turns 1 and 2 is Al Stone. Now behind them, Corey Fanning starting to get into battle with the winner from the last time we raced, Moose Doughton in the 39.
Well, I think the mail is Federal Express for Al Stone, as he has opened up a pretty sizable lead over the combination of Chikolis and Morgan. Fanning is there. Remember, Moose Doughton in qualifying tonight, he came from the rear of the pack into contention, and he is trying to do the same thing in the feature. And the good thing about that, he has a lot more laps in which to do it.
Here comes Sean Monahan up the outside lane. Finally was able to break through with that side-by-side racing ahead of him. He was able to get by Megan Fuller. Now he goes around the top side to get by Ryan Morgan and sets his sights on Jay Chikolis.
In practice today, Sean Monahan was about 0.3 of a second quicker than anyone else. We have a problem with our second yellow, and it's a green and white, number 71 of Houghton, who ran into some turbulence. So Brandon Houghton brings out yellow number 2. It comes on lap number 4. So Al Stone is going to be faced with another restart. He'll be starting alongside Jay Chikolis, but I think the driver that he is most concerned with is Sean Monahan.
Yeah, he was right at the exit of the racetrack was Houghton there off turn number 2, causing that caution. But you are right, Matt. Monahan certainly had a very quick car in qualifying. Later in the night, several hours later, his car is just as fast, and he'll start on the inside when we get back under the green flag here tonight. So Al Stone, the race leader, Jay Chicola sitting there in second, who showed a lot of speed today as well. The Swaggin' Wagon of the 55 of Sean Monahan rounding out your top 3.
So we will see if Monahan is able to make a move on this restart as he comes into this race with a 2-point lead over Kyle Garrow. And Kyle Garrow is still perched at the rear of the field, 11th out of 15 drivers, but he has a lot of time to get some of those spots back that he lost in his turn 1 mishap. So coming up next will be the mini stocks for 15 laps. And what a night it has been so far. Keith Rocco showing his excellence, winning in the Sunoco Modifieds. Then it was Teddy Hodgson winning his first ever Thompson race. In the Tour, Doug Colby took advantage of shifting problems from Bobby Santos to grab the win. And in the race that was just completed, it was Avery Storr. The Storr family has won a lot of races all over the midget map, and they do it again tonight.
Did a nice job celebrating, too, up atop the wing of that race car. Not easy to stand on with the angle on those Neiman midgets.
I would never be able to do that. First of all, I think the wing would collapse. And then it wouldn't be too sturdy. But Avery Storr, when you're young, you can accomplish a lot. And he was able to get a much-needed win tonight. Al Stone, car number 52, a 4-time champion at New London Waterford Speed Bowl. He has been struggling for most of the season. Thanks to his effort on August 4th, he was able to get into the top 10 for the first time. And this has been his best outing of the season.
Field will be given the 1-to-go signal when they come back by the starter stand this time through. 4 laps have been completed. We still have 16 laps to go in this feature event for the Limited Sportsman Division. Al Stone. We spent some time, Matt, talking about the championship battle. Al Stone has not run all of the races, and he's outside 10th position in the championship chase.
And he said he is going to have to get faster before the start of the action tonight, and he certainly has done it so far. But the straw that stirs the drink belongs to Sean Monahan as they come up to speed. Who has the firepower? A great escape by Al Stone again in car number 52. And we'll see if the PT Watts car of Jason Chicolas can move in. And Chicolas has a lead. Here comes Monahan as advertised.
Monahan doing a nice job on the bottom, and Chicolas as well. Stone goes from the race lead back to 3rd. So Jay Chicolas out in front, but for how long? Because here comes Monahan looking to the bottom.
A little bobble for Megan Fuller, and she might lose a position to Corey Fanning in car number 47, but they are crazy glued together. Here is Chicolas and Monahan on the inside, and the Swaggin' Wagon is making a statement.
Wheel to wheel for the top spot through turns 3 and 4. Monahan battling Chicolas across the line. The advantage in lap 6 is led by Monahan.
Sean the Wagon Master is up to his old tricks as he is able to shuffle his way into the lead. It is Stone in 3rd, holding off Morgan. Megan Fuller in 5th, followed by Corey Fanning. But here is Sean Monahan, and he is able to air rifle his way into the lead on lap number 7.
Finally, there for a while, Chicolas wasn't willing to fade. Meanwhile, Megan Fuller spins off turn 4 onto the front straightaway.
Trouble for Morgan, and Morgan spins in turn 2.
Fuller gets going again. Morgan's 31 sitting broadside across the racetrack over in turn 2. That car creeping down to the inside lane. Finally gets going, but not before the yellow flag has been displayed 7 laps in.
Boy, they look like a couple of roulette wheels. Fuller on one end of the track and Morgan on the other. And the third caution comes out with Sean Monahan in the lead, and he is going to be very tough to catch. He said he hopes the fans like him because he said none of the drivers do. That might be a false statement, fake news, but he is in the lead now, and Ryan Morgan will move to the rear of the field. Looked like the track was a little treacherous that time.
Morgan running the limited sportsman division after spending a lot of time in what was the Thompson modified division, and then also running in the late model division here as well, and has been successful in that division, picking up a win, being 4th in points here in the 2019 season. But having the ability to run 2 divisions, Matt, having that extra track time certainly helps quite a bit. But these race cars are very different in how you drive a limited sportsman car versus how you drive a late model car. The size of the cars are different, the build, where you sit, how they feel inside the race car, certainly the horsepower, the type of tire, just the rules of the race car, which changes how you need to drive it. So they're very different, but the track time has seemed to help Ryan Morgan with him being 4th in points in both divisions.
And he is making up for lost time because you remember a couple of years ago, he almost missed the entire season when he suffered a broken foot in a work accident. So after taking a good portion of that season off, he came back strongly last year and even more efficient this year. As we see Kyle Garrow, remember he was kicked to the curb early and he has battled his way back to 8th place. So I think he wants to get as close to Sean Monahan as he can in the next 13 laps so he can still be in the hunt for the track championship. Sean Monahan looking for his 3rd consecutive track title.
But first for the Swaggin' Wagon.
Yes. Yes, the wagon master, Sean Monahan. I don't know if you were, well, I think you were too young to remember the show Wagon Train. Mm-hmm. Well, Sean Monahan is bringing it back this season.
It's really neat to see teams do something like this and to show some creativity. It certainly gives us, something unique to talk about, race fans something to get excited about as well. And so it's kind of fun, the work and the effort that they put into this car to do it different, to be unique, and it certainly hasn't slowed them down one bit.
Now, there is no cookie cutter in this division. Cars are like fingerprints. Each one is different, but nobody has a wagon like Sean Monahan, who has been able, has a reputation for doing things a little different. I think while most of Connecticut watches Channel 3, he watches Channel 2, and he sees all the snow on the screen, and he can make sense out of it.
Well, I can make sense out of a clenched yellow flag, which tells us that we will be going green next time through. 13 laps to go. Can the Swaggin' Wagon and Sean Monahan hang on? Bring it back around to get another victory?
Well, he has had a smooth ride to the front. That hasn't been the case in every race this year. But he has almost had an easy pass to get to the top spot. But Jason Chacolas, he was battling him hard. So Jason Chacolas, I think this is the best car he has had at Thompson in a long time.
Very strong run all day. When he unloaded from practice, it was pretty evident that that 7 was going to be good today. And he's proven it now. Let's see how he does on this start. Monahan lays back a little bit to get some momentum, and he is off to the races.
It was a little 3-wide action. Al Stone had his nose in there, and now he drops back, and Sean Monahan is leading by about the length of an ironing board.
Monahan with an excellent restart that time through. Moose Stoughton was able to get by Jay Chacolas getting off turn number 2, and Kyle Garrow, who spun early on before we even completed a lap in the race, is raced back inside the top 5.
And he gets by Brett Gleason, and he is in the top 4. So what a comeback for Kyle Garrow. Up at the front, it's Sean Monahan. But if there's any guy who has the potential to take the lead away, it is Moose Stoughton, who has been at this game for a long time.
Moose is on the hunt. Can he reel down Monahan, who's got a healthy advantage at the front? Jacolis there in the third spot, trying to reel back in the veteran Moose Doughton.
And Doughton has the edge over Shakolis by a couple of car lengths. Now Megan Fuller, remember she was in trouble earlier, and she has moved up into 8th and trying to get by Tommy Shea, the mare who currently has the number 7 position.
Here comes Fuller, working underneath Shea across the line. Cross flags are out, 10 laps to go. And Fuller just about completes the pass in turn 2.
And now Gleason is going to try to go after the 19 of Kyle Garrow. That is a fight for 4th. Doughton getting some turbulence from behind generated by Jason Shakolis. So Doughton, it looked like he was capable of making a move against Monahan, but now he has to fight for his life against the 7 of Shakolis.
Shakolis keeps Doughton honest. Doughton gets loose up off turn number 2. That car almost came around on him. He was dirt tracking it off the corner. Shakolis came off nice and smooth, and that allows him to draw to the inside lane and battle side by side for the runner-up spot.
And they stomp their way off the corner. It is a dead heat between Shakolis and Doughton. And now give the edge to Shakolis. So he has come back, and so is Garrow. And Garrow is applying some pressure on the tailpipe of the Doughton car.
Looking inside into turn number 3. Doughton, a tap to the back bumper of Shakolis. Shakolis took the line away, getting down into turn 3 and 4. Garrow now couldn't pull to the inside of Doughton, and he falls to the clutches of Gleason off the corner.
Shakolis has 2nd, but all over the back bumper like a Christmas tree ornament is Moose Doughton. Here comes Gleason as he tries to slither underneath the 19 of Garrow, and it looks like Gleason has some ammunition in that car.
Working the bottom, white and black 0-1. That's Gleason. Outside the black, number 19 is Garrow, and here comes Corey Fanning. Fanning, for the moment, follows Gleason on the bottom.
2 cars riveted together for 4th and 5th. Now Garrow has the advantage on the outside. Lurking behind them is Corey Fanning. He is capable of making a dramatic move, but all by his lonesome. In the lead on his own island is Sean Monahan.
Firmly in command of this one. Less than 5 circuits to go. Monahan has got a healthy 1.1 second advantage back to Jay Jacolis, who's got some breathing room now. Back to the 3rd place machine of Moose Doughton. Garrow and Gleason have settled down that battle inside the top 5, but Megan Fuller is starting to close in on Corey Fanning, trying to make up for that spin earlier on in the event.
And she is gaining ground on the 47 car, but nobody seems to be gaining ground on Sean Monahan, as he is leading by the length of a moon crater over the 7X of Jason Shakolis. Now Garrow has pulled away from Gleason, and he is going after Doughton. And if Kyle Garrow can get a podium finish after his sluggish start, it would be a pretty amazing accomplishment.
Back into turn number 1. Garrow just 1 spot outside that podium. Doughton, though, able to open up a little bit more of an advantage that time down the turn 1 and 2, but Garrow much stronger on the back straightaway, Matt. Closes within a car length, and now he's within striking distance of a top 3.
We have a 2-lap tussle for the trophy with Sean Monahan. He is in another hemisphere, but the action is for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 6th, and 7th. Those cars are playing it tight. Doughton has the edge for 3rd. Garrow not very far away, making a move on the outside.
Looking high as they come to the white flag, this time by. Garrow now to the bottom off turn number 4. Can't do it. 1 to go in the limited Sportsman.
And we'll see how Garrow takes it in. He takes it in deep. Doughton is right there, taking it in deep himself. Now Garrow looking to bumblebee his way underneath the 39 car. Here comes Monahan, ready to put the finishing touches on a win. In 2nd, Shakolis. 3rd is a crapshoot.
Here they come off the corner. It's Monahan, Shakolis, and hanging on is Moose Doughton. In a great battle, Kyle Garrow will come home in 4th, 5th for Brent Gleason, and that is how they ran. Corey Fanning was 6th. Megan Fuller came back for 7th. Al Stone 8th. 9th for Ryan Morgan, and your top 10 was Tommy Shea.
Then it was Brandon Houghton in 11th. In 12, Hank Stott. Tyler Thompson is 13th. Jordan Hadley 14th. and Scott Sundin finishing in 15th. So Brandon Houghton was disqualified, or Brandon Houghton, so that means Scott Sundin will move up into 14th. So he won't be last, but he can't be too happy about the way his night went. Critical Signs is being, the sign is being put up, and the owner of Critical Signs is able to visit Critical Signs again.
Third time this season for Sean Monahan to get a win in the Swaggin' Wagon. Bring it down to the black and white checkerboard of our victory lane. Critical Signs victory lane here at Thompson Speedway. So, Sean Monahan scores win number 3 of 2019 and takes a big step towards winning his 3rd consecutive track championship.
And the Velvet Hammer makes its way into victory lane. And the trophy presentation will be coming up. Dave Barabalt will be getting ready to interview our winning driver, Sean Monahan, the champ in 217 and 218. And he is in the driver's seat tonight, taking over the point lead. Actually, he took it over during the qualifying race, and he just solidified his grip on the penthouse during the feature. So don't forget, if you need trophies, awards, go see Sean and Jen. They will hook you up. Right now, Sean Monahan is out of the car. Let's go to Dave Barabalt.
And Sean Monahan, your 3rd win on the season. Sean, take us through the wagon ride tonight.
Well, that might have been the most boring race of the season for you all, but once again, the Swaggin' Wagon's down in victory lane, and I'm so grateful because we don't take these for granted. You know, tonight's came a little bit easier, but if you were here last week watching some racing, you know, you can't count it over till it's done. And, man, I got to thank the good Lord for being faithful, showing his mercy and his grace on all that I've done. You know, I try to be good and do the right thing for the other competitors, and tonight it really paid off. Car 7, you know, he's still got an open motor. A lot of us are running crate motors. He's got a really good program. He's a good driver. We banged just a little bit, but, man, it's really nice to be in victory lane. Critical Signs, and a shout-out to my boy Craig Lutz, who I wish he would have went in victory lane tonight, but it's good to see the tour here tonight. And thanks for coming out, everybody, and thanks for sticking around after the tour's done.
And there you have it from Sean Monahan, his 3rd win on the season.
So it'll be the mini stocks ready to go, and they are already on the backstretch, so it won't be too much longer, and we'll be waving the green flag for 15 laps of mini stock action. A lot happened in qualifying tonight. The 2 guys who were battling for the lead, Steve Mahalski and Scott Mahalski, both ran into trouble. We see that it looks like Scott made it back out, and Steve in the 44, I don't know if we see him, but we'll check them out when they come across the start-finish line. So we are ready for 15 laps of frenzy